welcome back everybody to another Rude Awakening courtroom episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, today we're going to witness a defendant facing 10 years in prison. And he has a plea deal, but the judge is going to see some things that's going to make her change her mind. So let's jump into the courtroom and learn from other people's mistakes. But first, as always, if you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today.
You're charged with a third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle from February 26th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Speak up. And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they charged you with?
I don't know if this guy's trying to be cool or just quiet by nature. Either way, the court stenographer can't hear you, buddy. You gotta speak up a little bit.
I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis? Speak up.
Huh?
Because let me tell you something.
Uh-oh.
I bet you're not talking that low when you're acting up like all these jail incident reports tell me.
Oh, no.
When you're calling names and you're acting a fool out at the jail. So use your big boy voice and answer my questions, just like you do when you're acting nonsense to those correctional officers out there. Because I bet you're not whispering to them, are you?
Humans lie, but your jail reports don't. Acting wild in there, I promise you don't want to do that before sentencing. Especially if the COs don't like you, man, they're going to write up a nice, lengthy report for the judge to read. So keep that in mind. Anybody that happens to get locked up, what you do in there matters in the majority of courtrooms. Trust me.
Okay.
He's too cool for court, ma'am.
Because how you act at the jail, how you act right now, all determines whether I even go along with this plea agreement. I don't have to. You're on a probation. I don't have to take plea agreements on any probations. If I find that you violated your probation, I can give you anything I want to in that range of punishment. And I can say, you know what, I'm not going to let you guys negotiate. That I don't have to do that legally.
And this is another rude awakening for anybody out there if you get that plea deal. Don't think it can't go nowhere, just like Your Honor just said. She could snatch it away quicker than you can raise your voice to big boy level.
So you better be careful with your faces and your words and your attitude, because I've read all of these and I already don't have a good feeling. Do you understand? So you need to give me a better feeling if you want me to go along with this plea agreement.
I don't feel good about it either.
Okay. So, again, before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney, that you will be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
And you know, I did an interview with an individual in the past that had a situation just like what the judge said. She caught a felony when she was like 20-something, and she realized when she went to prison that she wasn't a U.S. citizen. So when she got out, after living in the country her whole life, they deported her to a country that she knew nothing about. And her story got wilder after that, trying to get back to the country. So don't think for a second the courts won't send you back to your homeland. But first, after visiting Smokeville, right? You know, you gotta stop there for a couple seasons.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Young is not competent?
No, Judge.
All right, so I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of that plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 5 years in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. Now, in cause number 21-37857.
Now keep in mind, he pled guilty and got 5 years back from his initial crime that he was on probation for. Probation just suspends the time over your head, you know. If you get in trouble, they can give it right back to you. Now, how did he violate that to get his little bit of time back? She's about to break it down. And of course, he's going to be getting sentenced for that as well, if it wasn't all tied into the plea deal. I know it gets a little confusing.
Your Honor, it's a second amended, just in the interest of economy. I would suggest we go forward on counts 1, 2, and 13, 13 being the offense he's already pled to.
So I have a second amended motion to revoke your community supervision. So you're on probation. We've got a probation for an evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle. And we've got 2 more evading arrest or detention?
The second evading is a misdemeanor enhanced to a state jail. And
it
count
was
20
right.
reads motor vehicle. That's incorrect, Judge. It's evading on foot with priors.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And so this shows that you were placed on probation August 29th of 2022 for evading with a vehicle. And that was a 10-year sentence in prison that was probated for 5 years. Is that correct?
Yep, 10 years. He had to do 5 years of probation and be done with it. He screwed up. Sounds like he's been eluding a lot more than what he did the first time. Back in the day, I always said to myself, I'm never going to run by car. It's a felony. I'll take my chances with the little baby 12 months on foot. Misdemeanor. That's right. Max is 12 months. And typically, in Virginia, you do half of it. 6 months. That's a little vacay. Be careful because a bike, golf cart, all that stuff could potentially be a vehicle. Turn it into a felony.
The state's elected to proceed on counts 1, 2, and 13. Count 1 alleges that you failed to report as directed to the probation department on October 2nd of 2024. And is that true or not true?
Violation 1, failed to report to probation. That's like the worst thing you can do. Ghost on them.
Count 2 alleges that you failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of that.
Oh,
is
man.
that true or not true? And then count 13 alleges that you were arrested for the offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle February 26th of 2025. And is that true or not true?
So actually, I stand corrected. It's not the worst thing you could do not showing up to probation. This is catching the same kind of charge that you're on probation for. So if he's got a plea deal, man, he better tighten up so he can keep that 100%. Seems like the judge is kind of teetering with her decision right now. Since the books are opening up a little wider, she's getting a bigger perspective on who this guy really is.
What's the status of the possession and the failure to ID
Ooh.
from that date?
I believe the failure is, I think, still pending.
The failure ID is still pending next door.
Oh, man, he's still got pending charges, too.
Affidavit from that date. I don't see that there would be a possession charge, Your Honor.
Okay. Trying to go back and find which administrative hearing talks about the allegation of his behavior to, it looks like there was something that happened with probation. One of the allegations. So I want to see a little more about that. That coupled with what's been going on in our jail may or may not affect my...
Sir, please get out the view of the camera.
Same thing. It's the same thing.
You
did the same thing to your probation officer that you're doing in the jail.
Oh no, what?
Do you really think that your probation officer is going to go on a date with you? Do you really think that a correctional officer is going to go, yeah, when you get out of jail, you're the guy I want to date?
Hobby!
You got in trouble for saying it. Cursed loudly about the work you had to do for your community service, calling it slavery.
How dare he?
Community service is slavery? Do you think that?
I had community service, and let me tell you what, I found it to be very gratifying, man, right? I was helping little old ladies at the little thrift shops and stuff. They're tipping.
It's the same. I'm not taking 5 on the MTRP. I've already taken 5 on the other. Y'all can renegotiate, or you can let me do it.
Ooh.
So I'll hold everything right now. Y'all go visit some more. The same behavior. We're not gonna reward that. All right, y'all go visit. I'll hold it instead of resetting it. I'll keep this paperwork, but I can make a modification if you come up with something different. But I'm not gonna do that.
So is that 5 years canceled out, or is this for the new stuff? Look at him staring the judge down. That's crazy. Run it back, Bobby.
I can make a modification if you come up with something different, but I'm not going to do that.
creeper, man. Creeper. Tree jumper, probably.
So we are back on the record in cause number 21378857. And again, you're Jacqueline Young, right? And in that case, which is the motion to revoke probation, Mr. Young had entered pleas of true to counts 1, 2, and 13. There was an agreement for 5 years in the institutional division, which I said I would not accept. Have you guys had an opportunity to visit?
We have, Judge.
And what is the?
The new agreement is 8 years TDC.
All right, I'll take that.
All right, I don't know if you heard it back there in the nosebleed seats, but the defendant and his attorney had a little meeting. They said, look, man, the judge is going to, give you more time. So let's try to add a few years, see if she goes with it, and hope that she doesn't give you the max. I would have been like, no, sir, bro, do lucky 7. And if you were to ask me, just by the way this guy's looking at the judge and all his past actions with the PO and CO, he might be a possible predator, man. I'm not even playing. This is just coming from an ex-con sense, right? From seeing many, many of them. But isn't it crazy to think just a few minutes ago, he was going to lose 5 years of his life, but now it's 8. 3 more years of your life taken away just like that. Unreal, man. Stay free, ladies and gentlemen. Do not break the law. And don't be a creeper.
And Mr. Nichols, that's your agreement as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Young. Again, I have some documents here, like the other case, that have your signature on them, that the state's marked as Exhibit Number 1. And before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Lewis? Speak up. And do you fully understand them also? And I have made the notation with everyone's agreement on the agreed punishment recommendation page that's changed from 5 to the 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. State tenders number 1 in that case?
No objection.
It's admitted. And so, Mr. Young, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 2, and 13 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and at this time, revoke your probation. Reassess your punishment in accordance with this agreement to a term of 8 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive.
Well, looking at the glass half full, as I always do, he didn't get the full 10 clip. Second of all, he looks fairly young, so hopefully this is a rude awakening that he needs. But hopefully you enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully everyone had a safe 4th of July. I know I did, man. It was a good one. Talked to my neighbors a little bit. I don't really talk to them too much. I kind of seclude myself in my own little compound, man. I've always been like that, though. And, in Tennessee, the fireworks vary. You got the store-bought ones that can get pretty big, like 500-gram shots. You got the little bedazzlers and whizzle-dizzles. And then you got the neighbors that probably work in the coal mines or something, man. Got the quarter sticks of dynamite. They blast that thing, and the walls are shaking. That ain't no store-bought firework, right? And then the other neighbors, man, it looks like Harborfest. Sydney, Australia. Like, bro, those are nowhere near like my little wild thing cake platter over here. So East Tennessee, let me say this, my hat's off to ya. Y'all go all out for the fireworks around here. I love it. Yes, I got hair, and it used to be a lot longer, man. My Johnny Rico, I might grow it back. I've been ripping and running, going back and forth from Virginia to here to meet family for the 4th of July and stuff like that, take the kids to camp. It's all done and over with now, so it's time for me to relax and make content, of course. So if you're new to the channel and enjoyed today's episode, trust me, you're going to want to stick around. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and go check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching right this second. In the meantime, though, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.